back, everybody, to Warlord of SBAS plays Torment, Tides of Numenera, episode 14. Last time we talked to Eridus and learned about his little craziness and the voices in his head. Oh boy. And then we explored more of the, whatever this place is called, the government square, I believe. Last time we finished off talking to Sigian, the levy leader, whatever. Let's finish up I believe we can finish up this area soon. It's not that much left. So let's talk to the council clerk. Because we need to talk to him about everything. Alright. The clerk notes your approach as an Yin would note the return of a particularly ravenous blood fly. An annoyance to be addressed and driven off lest matters grow worse. What is it this time? May I ask you some general questions? A faint sigh is the only acknowledgement you receive. Who are you and what exactly are you doing with all these papers? Those papers. I'm neither a tourist attraction nor dissent. Dawson? Whatever that means. He sniffs, but the irritation in his voice is only thin disguise for his obvious pleasure he takes at your interest. He elaborates, I am the council clerk, and unto me falls the responsibility of directing the fate of every official document in Sigis Cliffs. Doesn't he feel special about himself? His tone becomes wholly boastful as he continues, I am the mind that channels the blind, nervous impulses of the city and turns it into muscular action. He proves adding a certain flair to his browning of the paperwork. Nature, of course, provides every being with a proper niche, and here my power is to bend space. My divisible vision and my unerring integrity allow me to carry out attacks no other in the Ninth World would possibly undertake. He sighs, but with rapture, not exasperation. A venial man, a distractible man, or an ordinary man would break beneath the temptation and strain, but not I. With that, his bureaucratic scowl returns. I bet I could corrupt you. What exactly is the council, and how does it govern Sigis Cliffs? His clerk sniffs. Paper governs Sigis Cliffs. Paper allows the few to rule over the many. Paper allows the many to organize into a single whole. Authority resides in dictates, compacts, agenda. That means by which thoughts are refined, disseminated, and preserved. In a calmer voice, he adds, of course, the council has a part as well. Each of these great slave families sends a representative, and they dicker and bicker until they form the will embodied in paper, and I am their clerk. Can you tell me about the city history? What exactly would an overburdened clerk be able to, or willing to recite the city's sad tale of decline? When a certain twinkle appears in all four of his eyes, and he begins to speak, here's what occupations themselves reveal. Not in their words, but in their very selves. He works faster as he tells the story. Centuries ago, when the Ninth World was fresh, the city began. Its founders kept meticulous records, all lost. Only the columbarium, that held them remains. A time of aristocrats followed. Each pater families traced his lineage to an ancient hero, inscribed in these lies in stone. Today, these tablets pave the midden heaths built in the wake of Chilo's rebellion. He clocks his tongue in distaste. That came later. First came the Tabat, and as they laid siege to Sigis Cliffs, the city's records degraded, like hygiene and decency. Proper documentation falters in long years of terror. With a shrug and no detail, he adds, "But the siege failed and the Tibets vanished." Next, an age of decadence, the long gestating consequences of the aristocracy. Ever more outlandish choices and screeds they laid out their reasons to the people, not to explain it, but to mock. He smirked. Naturally, rebellion followed. Chilla cast down the old lords and raised up a new slave family. The empire expanded and contracted. All these and boulevards changed names. All else persisted. Corruption most of all. At last, the new clerk came. Bring order. He bows, and here we are. You must have uncovered some fascinating stories about the city and all this paperwork. Naturally, the clerk replies, but for a moment, notations of privacy and prohibited keep him quiet. Then one of his eyes flicks in your direction, and you can see he's avid to indulge the twin pleasures of the voyeur and the gossip. There's this from an ambassador sent to the steadfast. He snaps his fingers and summons a dispatch, clears his throat, and reads, "Today, with great ceremony, the Aeon priest buried a man said to have lived 277 years. I asked how this graybeard had lasted so long, and was told as follows. 300 years ago, there was a painting of a spectacular beauty hung in the Durkal, a relic from before the Ninth World. For reasons unknown, the work was incomplete. The Amber Pope believed that if finished, it would reveal the truth about human nature and that had eluded all intellectual inquiry. He proclaimed that whatever painter could complete it would receive a cipher that would enable him to live for 250 more years. Great artists flocked to their call to examine the masterpiece. But when they saw it, none dared to lift a brush. At last, a young whitewasher approached, carrying brushes and rollers and buckets of paint. "I can finish this," he declared. The Amber Pope nodded, and the boy flung an entire bucket of paint across the canvas. The blank region was filled, but the painting was splattered with white. Its majesty gone. The Pope held to his vow. He bestowed the longevity upon the whitewasher. He was, however, born to the torture pits below the Durkal, where he remained until that very day, when at last his long life ceased. The clerk folds his faded dispatch, returning it to the envelope, and sends it away, saying no more. Cool. Tell me another story. After Chilla tore down the old ruling families, there was a time when the council stripped the euphemisms from its ledgers. Yeah. Once sees such paid for racking a nobleman till he gave up his stash of shins, and such to settle the claims of mothers bereft of their children by rampaging mobs. He paused. One can debate whether this is shameless or transparency, but it has yielded an entire tertiary brilliance. An entry of terse brilliance. A sum allotted for the assassin to spur. Words hard. The assassin disposed of said whale. He smirks. Unless the literal age, said whale, might have been scion of a mercantile clan or a countess of grand scale. But not here. There was a funds. Those were funds requisitioned to assassinate a whale. No more, no less. The eye regarded and twinkles with light. And best of all, it seems the mission failed One wonders how does an assassin miss a whale? So someone tried to assassinate the whale and fail. That's funny. One more time. Maybe. Red ink, the clerk declares. For centuries the council whoa. That word would record the council's commentary on proposed legislation with red ink. Then the draft law would be returned to the solicitors in the basement of the council tower to frame it anew. He plucks an example from the air and a regulation concerning the stability of anine. You see, he sends it back though, whence it came. And then abruptly then annotations are in blue ink. And I stares at you. Why? He asks rhetorically. One finds it in the criminal docket an entry concerning the solicitors executed for waste of official resources, to wit, 8,216 liters of red ink. Drowning was the sentence. The clerk shrugs. I suppose he was not drowned in the red ink. He snaps his fingers and produces a thick sheet of papers, which each thumbs through like a deck of cards. Each is covered in red revisions, draft after draft after draft. It seems he could never get it quite right. The clerk looks at you and smiles. So no more red ink. Any more stories? No. I believe that's all he's going to do. Gonna do paperwork? Sure, I'll try to do all these. Faint size is the only announcement you save. Do you have any records about someone named Matakina? I've seen the name he mutters. As far as too many requisitions for discretionary funds. With confident but deliberate speed, he reviews a series of documents which seem to confirm his initial impression. She does not appear to as a citizen, nor in any consensus. Indeed, she is mentioned nowhere but no. Mentioned nowhere but no letters and requisitions. Fully 3 of his eyes give you a significant look. Needless to say, these are transactions that whose nature is not specified. In other words, assassinations. What exactly are you doing with all these papers? The clerk shakes his head at your ignorance. I'm taking them to from where they were to where they must be, by bending the space between. And as they pass across my lectern, I assure that they are properly prepared. To the body political, I serve as heart, kidney, and nervous system them all in one. He snaps his fingers, opening a portal and flicking a scroll through it. Before I undertook this role, council employed layers and layers of logothetes, scriveners, registers, and couriers, each corruptible, vulnerable, insular. The Memvor's tendrils grew through the cracks in the teetering edifice. He stares at you with 2 bright eyes. But now, there is only myself, and had I not come to this office, I wonder who would rule the city. Not that the Memvor has not tried, but even she can't corrupt the uncorruptible. Who is the Memvor? The clerk scowls without looking up. Some builders raise monuments of marble, others tear those monuments down. Cook the marble to lime. Mix the lime into concrete. You use that concrete to make hardened bunkers. He shakes his head. Organizations can be made the same way. The Memvor has demolished many things, and from the rubble has built an impenetrable organization of hardened souls. You would be wise to keep your distance. Now he glances at your way. But you don't look wise. Oh. Well, that's mean. Where can I find them in for? The Kirk chuckles quietly while filling out the form. The bloom. A moment later he adds, sometimes it seems one can indeed judge a book by its cover. Well, that's a bit mean. Airport. Okay, I believe that's everything we could talk to him about. Clerk gives an acknowledgement. Yeah, you don't care. Alright, let's continue exploring.
Without doubt.
I have so much doubt. So there. What is this?
With alacrity.
Alacrity. Okay. Towering above you is an enormous archway of metal and synth. Energy pulses through the structure, spilling from within. Transparent panels of subtle shades of gold and cyan. Examine the archway more closely. It appears to be dormant, not very much, but very much alive. The archway emits a low and constant hum just at the edge of your hearing. Across the top, illuminated words are inscribed. The House of Empty Time. Heavy rope-like cables connect the archway to an ancient device nearby. Yeah, sure, let's try to activate. You scan the parts of each arch that are accessible from the ground, but you don't see anything that resembles a control device. Finally, you give up the search if the arch can be activated at all. The method is unclear. Lore mystical. Perhaps it could only be activated by the words of its creator, or someone designated by that person. Such things are not unknown in the Ninth World. So basically I had to get her to do it, but I don't really have a reason to use it yet. Power still flows through the ancient machine. A brassy heartbeat pulses within it. Just at the edge of the hearing, and tiny bubbles orbit the entire structure. Tiny bubbles. No, not bubbles. Holes in space. Floating holes in space. That's not really ever good. Examine the device. Hand slip over the cable together components, cobbled together components and greasy cables. The buttons are worn from frequent use. It is a strange accomplishment, this machine. Clumsy but deft. Amateurish but masterful. Only a brilliant mind could not have melded so many disparate parts into a functional device. Yeah. Unfamiliar memories whisper to you. This device was used, though you don't know how, to generate a field that unmoored everything within it from time itself. It's one of the shield generators. Your fingers grab a rough patch, lifting, and you see this circuit symbol etched in the side like a maker's mark. Look through the orbiting holes in space. You lock your eyes on a hole, watching it orbit. Sometimes the building it passes in front of are still there. Sometimes they're on fire. But most of the time, however, nothing lies beyond the hole in the air but blackened waste and whirling dust. Try to remember why this machine is so familiar. I'll give it my all. Ah, success. You close your eyes to better concentrate, sinking into this currents of memory that does not belong to you, or at least the body you are in. And you hear the thunderous heartbeat of a operational generator calling you from across the centuries. You open cold and focused eyes, ignoring the screams The drifting tangles of black smoke. Your attention is slowly focused on the health of the machine heartbeat, and reaching into the hissing guts of the generator, adjusting and tuning, hoping. Your heartbeat bleeds into the present. Your hand, your body's hand, rests on the rusty surface at the now ancient machine. Cool. I got some experience from looking at it. That's always good. Just statue.
Of course.
I believe you've been everywhere. Outside anyway.
Coming.
Yep, looks like I've talked to everyone. I believe that this is to the underbelly, and that's to the Caldeum, which is the airship place. This, however, is the only building we can go in this area, I believe. Yeah, because that council door is locked. Yep. Alright.
Could you tone down the glow, lad? I have a bit of a hangover.
Glow? What glow? I thought the entire world was golden.
Not today, it's not. Today, the world is pain-colored.
Well, made my own heart. Has a headache all the time.
All right.
Alright. Let's go to the people of truth. Yay. So all the places.
We shall see.
Let's explore it real quick.
To action!
Look how cool this place is. Alright. Alright.
Why not?
I'm actually going to leave it here a little early because next person I want to talk to is one of my favorite people to talk to. But he's going to be a long talk. It's Nerf over here. I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy me talking to him because he's very fun to talk to. So until next time, remember to embrace chaos or you'll go mad. Bye!